You wake up at 3 in the morning. Not from an alarm, not from a text, not from a nightmare. From the cold. You turn your head and you see the thing from the thumbnail. The fire went out. And now you have a problem. Because 50,000 years ago, fire wasn't just warmth. It was a wall, a signal, a kitchen, a weapon. And the border between your tribe and whatever walks in the dark. Today, you'll find out what could really happen if the fire went out at night, how they tried to bring it back, and why the real terror didn't start right away. It started a few minutes into the silence, and at the end, why, by morning, they looked at one person in the tribe differently, and why that turned out to be scarier than any predator in the dark. Today, if your power goes out, you grab your phone. If you get cold, you turn on the heater. If you're scared, you lock the door. You have a button that puts everything back. Your ancestor did not have that button. Night wasn't just a time of day. Night was a different world. By day, you could see tracks, faces, stones, trees, water. At night, all of it disappeared. Only sounds were left. A twig snapping, breathing nearby, grass rustling, and sometimes eyes. The fire kept all of it outside. It gave you light. You could see where your people were, where your things were, where the camp ended. And it scared off animals. To a predator, fire is a strange, living, hot thing you'd rather not go near. It gave warmth, dried the wet ground beneath you, and pulled the whole tribe into one place. Now picture it. Everyone's asleep. Children under hides. The elders closer to the fire. The hunters after a long day. Someone had to watch the embers, but at some point, that person dozed off. First, the fire got smaller. Then the embers went dull. Then the wind blew away the last of the heat. And the camp didn't wake up right away. That's the scariest part, because by the time you realize the fire is out, the darkness has already moved closer. But here's what matters more. If there's even one living spark left in the embers, you still have a chance. If there isn't, a completely different level of fear begins. The first thing you do, you don't scream. Panic wakes the children. The children cry, and crying carries into the dark farther than you'd like. You sit up and you look at the embers. If there's even a faint red glow, you live. If it's all black, this is very bad. First, the good case. An ember survived. You carefully rake the ash with a stick, not your hands, the heat could be hiding deeper, and you look for that red point of life. And if you find it, you start working very slowly. You don't blow hard. A sharp gust would kill a weak ember. You bring the driest thing in camp, grass, bark, thin shavings. And here's where you're different from a modern person. We think fire is either on or off. For you, fire is like a sick patient. You can save it, but you can't touch it roughly. First, smoke, then one small orange tongue, then another. And only then do you wake the others. But if there's only cold black dust under the ash, everything gets much worse. Because now you have to build fire from zero. And here's the myth movies love. You grab 2 sticks, rub them for 3 seconds, and boom, a campfire. No, if it were that easy, nobody would fear a dead fire. Building fire from scratch is a skill. You need very dry material, and if the night is damp or it rained, the sticks just rub and nothing happens. There are ways: wood against wood, striking a spark from stone, carrying a live ember from an old fire in dry bark. But all of it takes experience, and above all, time. And at night, time is expensive. Someone nearby lifts their head. An older woman whispers, "Why is it dark?" A hunter takes his spare. A child starts to cry. And now the fire isn't just your problem. It's the whole camp's problem. You could go get fire from another camp, but picture what that looks like. 3 in the morning. You walk through the dark with an empty stick, hoping the fire over there is still alive. And between you and it, cold, bushes, a river, stones, and everything you cannot see. So in the ancient world, fire wasn't just lit. Fire was guarded, fed, hidden from the rain, watched over in shifts. A dead campfire meant one thing: someone failed the most important job of the night. And when the fire is gone, the first thing that changes is the sound. A burning fire crackles all the time. That soft noise covers the emptiness around you. And when it dies, real silence arrives. And in that silence, you hear everything. Someone breathing, a hide shifting, a child whimpering, something far off breaking a branch. You don't know what it is: a deer, a hyena, a lion, a person from another group. At night, imagination runs faster than your eyes. Now the tribe gathers closer. People sit back to back. Someone holds a spare. Someone covers the children with a hide. Someone hunts for dry grass. And here it becomes clear. The fire was never an object. It was the center of a system. Without it, everything breaks. Where do you cook? Where do you get warm? Where is the edge of the camp? For a modern person, a wall is a brick. For an ancient person, the wall was light. While you're inside the light, you're in the world of people. When the light disappears, you're just meat in the dark again. And now picture this. Out of that darkness, an animal steps toward you. No fire, and you have a couple of seconds to decide what to do, or someone won't live to see the morning. While the fire was burning, you were a dangerous hot spot to any animal. Now the fire is gone, and you've become warm meat that can't see well in the dark. Situation 1. The pack. You hear them before you see them. A rustle, footsteps circling around you. There are several of them. A pack doesn't charge right away. It tests you. Who's weaker? Who's on the edge? Who steps away first? And here's what you do. You don't run. To run is to show your back, and that's exactly what the pack is waiting for. You pack together tight, back to back, children inside, spears pointing out. You shout, you wave your arms, you make yourselves bigger and louder than you really are. Because for a pack, only one thing matters. Prey that fights back costs too much. But if even one of you breaks, if someone on the edge panics and runs into the dark, the pack chose that one. That's why you could never scatter. Together, you're a wall. Alone, you're dinner. Situation 2. The bear. With a bear, the rules are different. The bear isn't coming for you. It's coming for the smell. Meat. Fate. Scraps of food by the cold fire peat. And here you realize the worst part. Spears won't stop it. Shouting won't either. Fire. fire could have. But tonight, you have no fire. So you do the only thing that works. You back away slowly. You don't ruin, you don't shout, you don't look it in the eyes. You give up the food. You give up the place. You give up everything it came for. In winter, losing part of your stores is bad. But arguing over them at night with a bear, that's not about food anymore. That's about who lives to see the morning. And here's the whole point. On every one of these nights, it wasn't the strongest person who decided. It was the fire. While it burned, the pack kept its distance. The bear went around. The darkness stayed back. The fire did all the dirty work for you. Silently, every single night. And it asked only one thing of you. Don't let it go out. And now, imagine that it went out anyway. And here's the real turn. If the fire went out, the tribe didn't only fear the animals, they feared a question. Who was supposed to be watching? Because in a small group, one person's mistake hits everyone. You didn't just fall asleep. You left the children in the dark. You left the old ones in the cold. You left the hunters without light. You left the camp without a wall. And in the morning, even if everyone survived, they'll look at you differently. Not as a villain, as the person it's dangerous to sleep beside. That's why the fire was a test of trust. It didn't only show whether you could build a fire, it showed whether you could be trusted with the night. Today, you might forget to charge your phone, and that's annoying. Your ancestor could forget to keep the fire alive, and it could cost the whole camp a night. We call fire a technology, but for him, it was family, safety, food, memory, conversations, and mourning. And then someone would find a small red ember under the ash, blew on it gently, laid down dry grass, and the whole camp watched that small flame the way we watch a phone screen light up today. Because it meant one thing: we're still here. And when the fire caught again, it wasn't just a flame. It was a sign that the night hadn't taken you. A question for the comments. If you had lived back then, would they have trusted you with the night fire? Subscribe if you want to see how ordinary things, fire, food, sleep, and fear, made us human.